Well, hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm Renee. There's a couple of things we're going to be making today. It's just a baking day for me and I thought I'd bring you along with me. But first thing, we're going to be doing some breads and rolls. And the rolls we're doing are pretzel rolls. And this is a really good recipe. And we're probably going to do some Hawaiian rolls. And then I need to make some of my Amish white bread and my Amish wheat bread. So we're going to be just doing an afternoon of baking. And I'm going to show you how I make all this stuff. And it really is easy to make and it's wonderful. Freezer friendly. It's beautiful. You can bake one afternoon a week and have all your baked goods for the entire week. All right, we're going to do pretzel rolls right now. Okay, so with that, and this is just a single batch because we're going to make sandwiches with them. We're going to do 1 tablespoon of yeast. Okay. Many people ask me when I make my breads, I use what's called Safe Instant Yeast. SAF/instant yeast. It's a wonderful yeast. I never have problems with it. And I buy it in a 1 pound bulk container. It's anywhere from $5 to $7 depending on where you buy it. But it really is a nice yeast. And if you don't use it all the time, just store it in your freezer. It's a perfect place to store your yeast. Mine stays in the fridge because I use yeast about every other day. Okay? With that, we are going to add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, okay? And I make my own brown sugar. And one of these days I'll show you. It's so easy to make. All it is sugar and molasses. That's it. I like using black treacle when I make my brown sugar because it gives you the most beautiful dark brown sugar and it's just divine. All right, so with that, I'm talking. You can use, I'm using milk powder and water. You can use 1 3/4 cups of whole milk and just pop it in your microwave and, 40, 50 seconds, it should be good. But I'm just using my milk powder. So if you're using milk powder, you're going to do 2/3 of a cup. Okay? And to that, we're going to add 1 1/3 cups of water, warm water, about 110 degrees. And then we're just going to give this a nice mix until the sugar's dissolved. All right, no matter what I'm making, I always make sure my yeast is alive. So this is just going to sit on the counter for about 5 minutes. And it'll start coming to life and I'll show you. So give me a few minutes and I'll be right back, friends. Okay, friends, take a look. Nice and frothy and it's lively. And that's what you want. Okay, I've got 2 tablespoons of soft butter. Mine is salted. If you use unsalted butter, only put, you can either omit the salt or put half the amount in, okay? And right here, I've got 4 cups of flour. My recipe calls for 4.5 cups. I always start with just 4 cups, and then I've got a 1/2 cup to add if needed. And I'll add a little bit of it until I have a nice soft dough. Okay, so now that I used salted butter, I'm only gonna put half of my salt in. Otherwise, you'd use a teaspoon of salt. Okay, so I'm going to take this to my mixer and I'm going to mix this. Once it's incorporated, you're going to want to let this knead for about 8 to 10 minutes. If you knead it by hand, same thing, 8 to 10 minutes. So I'll see you in a minute, friends. Okay, friends, look at how clean our bowl is. Ooh, that's great. I don't got to wash it. We can just use it for the next loaf. All right, this is a beautiful dough. And we're just going to get this into a ball. Beautiful, look at that. I love that. All right. oil our bowl. We're going to cover this bowl. This is going to rise for about an hour. And then we'll be able to make our pretzel rolls. So we're going to set that right on my stove, and that's going to rise. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put together some easy Amish white bread. I've showed you many times. It's the same bread that I made in my tutorial. So we're going to do that again because I need to make that for my market stand. Okay, friends, we're going to make Amish white bread. And this is so easy to make. I'm just making 2 loaves, so this is a standard recipe. I'm using 1 tablespoon of yeast. And to that, I'm going to add 1/3 cup of sugar. I'm going to tell you, I've had comments about that, the sugar. The original Amish white bread calls for 2/3 cup of sugar for 2 loaves of bread. That's too sweet for me. I don't like all that sugar, so I just cut my sugar in half. And every time that I write my recipes, I write it just as I make it, always. So I only put 1/3 cup of sugar per 2 loaves of bread. All right, and to that I'm going to add 2 cups of nice warm water, about 110 degrees, no higher than 115 because you'll kill your yeast. That's going to sit just like that because no matter what I'm making, I always make sure my yeast is alive because I'm not going to put all my ingredients there and find out my yeast was dead. That's just a waste. But if that happens, well, you just make fry bread or flat bread, whatever. So this is going to sit here for 5 minutes until I know that yeast is lively, and I'll be right back, friends. Okay, friends, take a look. Nice, frothy, beautiful, smelling boozy. It's ready. The yeast is lively. We're going to add 1/4 cup of oil, and I'm using olive oil. You can use vegetable oil or canola oil, any oil you want, but I'm using olive oil. Okay, and to this, I'm going to add 6 cups of flour. So there's 4 cups. I couldn't do that again if I tried. There's 6 cups. Okay, on top of that, we're going to do 2 teaspoons of salt. And that's it. That's how easy it is to put Amish bread together. Now I'm going to put this in my stand mixer. Once it's incorporated, I'm going to let this knead for about 8 to 10 minutes. And I'll see you back here when it's all done kneading. Okay, friends. This is gorgeous dough. Nice clean bowl again. You know your dough is perfect when your bowl is squeaky clean. We're just going to roll this into a ball. This is beautiful, soft dough. Okay. We're going to put some oil in our bowl. Slather that around. And we're going to cover this up. And this is going to rise for about 2 hours. So we'll have plenty of time while this is still rising after an hour to work on our pretzel rolls. So this is going to set up here as well. Now we're going to do our Amish wheat bread. So let me get my stuff together and I'll be right back. Okay, friends, with the wheat bread, same thing. I want enough in there. I'm going to do a tablespoon of yeast. I'm making 2 loaves of this as well. And the same with the sugar. I only put half the amount of sugar it calls for. So I got 1/3 cup of sugar. Okay. And I've got 2 cups of nice hot water. going in here. Same thing as last one. We're going to give this a nice mix. We want that sugar dissolved. Okay. That's going to sit again for about 5 minutes to make sure that yeast is lively. I'll be right back in a few minutes, friends. Okay, friends. There we go. Nice and lively. That's beautiful. Okay, so to that, we're going to do a half a cup of oil because whole wheat requires a little more oil than white. So there we go. Nice half cup of, and I'm using olive oil. Okay, to this, we're going to do, now you could do this with all whole wheat bread or whole wheat flour, but you're going to need to put a couple tablespoons, like I've told you before, of vital wheat glutens in for each cup so that you get a nice rise. I'm going to do 3 cups of each. I'm going to do 3 cups of wheat flour and 3 cups of white flour. Okay, so there's my 3 cups of wheat. And here is my 3 cups of white. Okay. Don't forget your salt. I put my salt away and almost forgot it. And if you forget it, try and get it in there. Even when it's kneading, you can add it. I'm doing 2 teaspoons of salt. All right. This is same as with my white bread. This is going to, once this is incorporated, I'm going to just set my timer and let it knead for about 8 to 10 minutes, friends. I'll see you back here when this is done kneading. Okay, friends, it's done. It's beautiful. This is gorgeous. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put it right back in my mixer to rise. We're just going to put it in a nice ball. This is beautiful dough. Gorgeous. Nice and soft and supple. We're going to put a little oil in here. Just a little bit. Twirl this around. And then we're just going to cover it. And it's going to rise right in my mixing bowl. So this is going to rise for about 2 hours like the Amish white bread. And then we will get this shaped and ready to bake. And we will get working on our pretzel buns. So I'll see you in a few, friends. Okay, friends, take a look. Our pretzel rolls have risen and they're ready to work with. I've got a big pot of water here, probably about 8 to 10 cups of water in there. I'm going to take, and I'm going to put about a half cup of baking soda in that. Give it a nice mix because that's what we're going to boil. Just like bagels, we're going to boil our rolls in this before we bake them. That's going to give them the nice chewy crust on the outside, just like a bagel. So I'm going to mix that really good. And I'm going to put that on the stove. Okay. And we're going to let that come up to a boil. All right. Now, while that's boiling, we're going to go ahead and we're going to form these into 12 beautiful rolls. Look at that. That's gorgeous. This is beautiful dough. Okay. I'm just cutting them into 12. Okay. And then we're just going to fold them, stretch them into a nice roll. See, just like so. We're going to put these on our tray. I'm going to get all these rolled up. You just do just like so. Just roll them into a ball the best you can. And put them on your tray. And I'll be right back when I have all these done, friends. So just keep rolling and forming them into a ball. Okay, friends, I got them all rolled, and I'm just going to cover them up until our water is ready to go. I'm going to get a lid for that so it boils faster. And I'll be back, friends, when we start boiling these. Okay, friends, our water is boiling with our baking soda in there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put our rolls down in here, and they are going to boil for about, I boil mine for about 45 seconds on each side, and that's it. That's my sweet spot. So I'm going to go ahead. I'll show you these as soon as they're done. Okay, friends, we're going to lay them right back out here on our tray. You can see them. Beautiful. And we're going to see the difference. We're going to go ahead and put these in the water. I'm going to do a couple more because I got a pretty big pot here. I can get all these in here. And then they're done. Okay. I will see you back at the island when these are all done, friends. 45 seconds on each side. That's all you need. Okay, friends, now that these are boiled, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a slit in the tops of each of them. Just a couple slits, and that's it. Okay. My oven is preheating to 425, and then we're going to give these an egg wash, and as soon as the oven's preheated, we're going to put them in. All right, these are going to turn out beautiful. Now you can put a little flake salt on the top of these too, but I'm not gonna. I'm just leaving mine plain. Okay. I am just going to go ahead and cover these up because it's going to be about 10 minutes before my stove is complete, or my oven is completely heated. So when that happens, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put them in the oven. They're going to bake for 20 minutes at 425 degrees, and you'll see all of these at the end of the video. Once these get in the oven, we're going to go ahead and start working our white and wheat bread doughs and get them ready in the pans, shaped and ready to bake. Okay, friends, our bread has risen. Now we can get it ready to bake. Okay. We've got two, I'm going to do 2 loaves. Oh, I think this one's got a little too much. Just make them as even as you can. Beautiful. There's your loaf. Perfect. Here's the other one. I just pinched the seams where I cut it in half. It's beautiful. Seal it up a little. And there's your loaf. All right. Now, we've got our pretzel rolls in the oven, 425 degrees. They're going to go for 20 minutes. And now we're going to do our wheat bread. Same thing with this one. we're just going to cut it in half. I'll roll it up. I'm just pinching the seams where I cut it, so it forms a nice loaf. Beautiful. There's your loaf right there. Just pinch it off where I cut it, where the seam is, and I'm going to roll it. And there's your loaf. All right. Those are going to be beautiful. Okay, so these are just going to get covered up right here until they're ready to bake. It'll be when our pretzel rolls are done. I'll go ahead and stick these in the oven. I'm going to have to reduce the temperature down to 350. And once these go in a 350-degree oven, they will bake for 30 minutes. And friends, I will see you when these are all done. And unfortunately, we're not going to have enough time today to do our Hawaiian rolls, so we will do them in the next video. I'll see you when these are done baking, friends. Well, there we go, friends. Take a look at our pretzel rolls. They turned out beautiful, just like soft pretzels. You could probably use that same recipe and make soft pretzels with it. And then we got our beautiful wheat bread, our beautiful white bread. It all turned out gorgeous. Take a look, friends. Beautiful, beautiful. We'll see if Mr. Wayna wants to try one of these rolls. You want to try one of these rolls, mister?
Yeah.
We'll cut it in half so you can see. We'll put a little butter on it for you. Tell us if it tastes like pretzel. Ooh, the bottom, everything looks good on it. And you can hear Jewel. She has gotten so chubby this winter. Try that.
Thank you.
That's all she does is sit and watch the refrigerator. If you come out to the kitchen, she's right there. How you like those?
These are good.
Are they chewy like a pretzel?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. That's that baking soda bath you give them. That gives them that beautiful crust. That beautiful, look at that. It's just gorgeous. Okay, friends, I'll list all these recipes in the description box so you can give this a try. I do have a nice tutorial bread baking. If you're new to my channel and you want to learn how to bake bread, I've got a playlist of all my breads. I'll be adding this to it. Check out all my breads. You like that, huh?
Yeah, it's very good.
I think that'd be good with roast beef and Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
It's late. He goes to bed with the chickens. It's past his bedtime. Oh, mister. Okay. You all have a wonderful night. Thanks for hanging out with me in the kitchen and baking bread with me today. We'll see you in the next video, friends. And as always,
Thanks for watching.